Welcome to General Nerdities, a place where we discuss all things in the general nerd culture, from video games, comic books, TV shows, movies, and more. We're your hosts, Jake and Alex, and on this episode, we will be discussing our most anticipated games for 2021. Enjoy. 2020 is over with. We played our games. What are some 2021 games? Let's go with your top most anticipated games of 2021.
Okay. So most anticipated game so far of 2021 would be Psychonauts 2.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So Psychonauts, the original Psychonauts I played on PS2 back in high school. I remember I gave Liz the game after I was done with it just because it was one of the most inventive, fun, funny, well-written games I'd ever played. Like, so you're this little dude named Braz, and you want to be like this. You have these psychokinetic powers, right? And you go into other people's minds, other people's psyches, and the level, the game design is based on what's going on in their world. So, if you have someone that's like a conspiracy theorist, like there's all this kind of weird shit going on in their brain. If you have this one dude that's like he's kind of like a drill instructor, so like it's a war zone inside, like a cartoonish war zone inside his head. And it was one of the funniest, most just weirdest, funniest games I've ever played. I've been a backer of Psychonauts 2 since Tim Schafer announced it 5-6 years ago. I am a big investor of this game. Like, the big platform that allowed regular people to invest in this game. I was one of the original backers, so like this is a game that I've been patiently waiting for, and now that Microsoft has bought Double Fine Studios,
That's right. Second, Microsoft
yeah,
did buy that.
yeah. So that game is supposed to finally come out now that they have, Tim Schafer's done more than a couple of interviews about talking this game up, and it is one of the ones that just because I know Psychonauts was so different from any game that I've played up to that point and since. It's just like this very unique, very weird, very Tim Schafer game, and I can confidently say no other game that's going to come out in the next 12 months is going to be anything like it. And that's probably why I'm so excited for that game.
Well, that completely caught me off guard. Like I've never played any of these Psychonauts. I'm probably not going to be able to get around to it. Um, but yeah, like I didn't even know that was coming out this year. Like
Yeah,
that completely surprised me as your number one.
baby.
Mine would be a lot more predictable than that. My number one is easily, far and away, God of War Ragnarok. Um, Now it said 2021, so I'm
Yeah,
talking as
that
though,
would be on my list. I have no faith that that game's coming out in 2021.
well, somehow both that and Horizon,
One of those is getting
which is
bumped, and the fact that we have
actually my number two, are both coming out this year. I could see, because Horizon's supposed to come out what, in like March or April, something like that.
I would assume the first half, and look, of those two,
God of War
God
will
of War.
probably they like that February to April window.
If it was going to come out in February to April, they would have mentioned that by now. The only thing that makes me think Horizon's coming out this year is they have released some video of it. That they have at least a video trailer. All we have of Ragnarok is the logo, and I'm sorry if you. I feel if you had something to show, you would have showed it by now. And considering 2020 delays many games, I can see God of War being delayed.
Fair enough. Um, but
But if it
they said 2021, and like I loved God of War on
yeah,
PS4. Like, and clearly you did too. You bought it for me for my birthday, and then when I didn't get around to playing it, you literally came over for a weekend and made me play it for the weekend with you, which worked, and I ended up
yeah.
beating it within like a week or two after that. But yeah, I just replayed it this last week. I played through it with my wife, and she really dug it. The whole time I'm just in the back of my head like, you have no idea who Atreus really is. Like, Like when you see what's going on there, when all this
Yeah,
is done, and then we look back on everything that has happened and how we knew it in such the wrong way, like and the whole one shot storytelling, which
yeah,
I'm assuming and really both really hopeful that this next one will also be told in that one shot
yeah.
style. I think it was fantastic. I can't wait to go back to Helheim. Find out what's up with that big old eagle down there, and like it only lets you go to like 4 or 5 of the 9 realms. So like
Yeah.
there's a lot going on, and then Thor. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
I can't wait to fight Thor. I can't wait to see Odin. Freya is going to
Ray's gonna
mess. She's
fuck shit
she's
up.
pissed up. She's pissed off,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Ray's gonna murder you.
And just quick
And
side note, looking back on it, like initially I thought dude was gonna be like a little side character or like the initial boss, but I really dug Baldur
yeah,
as your main antagonist of that
yeah.
game. I thought Baldur turned out to be a really cool dude.
Baller was
Um,
cool, and I think
It
they
reminded me of
developed him well.
he was like a Norse god version of oh god, what's his name, the MMA dude,
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Thank you. Like if Conor McGregor was a Greek god, like that's exactly how I imagine he would
Yeah.
be. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Conor McGregor is Baldur reincarnate.
Yep. Yep. No, if that game comes out in 2021, absolutely. I do not believe it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and the whole God of War thing, like even going back to the OG on what was it, PS2 was the first version. Like they've told an incredible story with Kratos. Somehow they've managed to take that the original ones and kind of like weave them into the new ones. Like if these guys, I don't think these guys get enough credit, but if these guys at Santa Monica, Sony Santa Monica, right?
Yeah.
If they want to tell a story, man, I want to hear it. Like they're good.
Yeah.
They're really good
Absolutely.
storytellers.
Absolutely. Also, I just need more Mimir in my life. I
Oh
love that little
God,
head.
all the Mimir. One thing I was kind of bummed about when I did my playthrough with Liz, with my wife, is like we were just doing the story stuff. So we were running from mission to mission. I wasn't jumping around the lake and doing all this stuff. So we actually didn't spend a ton of time in the boat. And I'm just looking at him like, man, why we did not hear nearly enough Mimir. Like,
No,
let,
Mimir's like one of the greatest gems of that game.
yeah, and so like, and then that's another thing I wonder. Like, are you going to start off the next game with Mimir just on your hip? Like, is that how the next one
Hope so.
starts?
I hope so.
Are we going to
I,
get him a body? Is that going to change, or is he just going to be a head on your hip for 3 games or whatever?
I hope he's just a head on my hip.
Oh man.
I do. I
Oh
like
man.
Mimir.
Well, I already touched on it, so I'll go ahead and go with it. My second one is easily is the Horizon the Forbidden West. Um,
Yeah.
just more Horizon, please. Like
Yeah.
that easy. I can't wait. The game turned out to be beautiful. The first Horizon, and while looking back on it, I do think there are some elements that are very overrated, but they did all the little things right, and I just really enjoyed being in that world. The story wasn't super. The main story was really good, but all the side stuff, like nothing really overwhelmed me, and being into like the actual towns and stuff kind of really didn't overwhelm me. But the fact that this was the first installment and it was still that good gives me a
Yeah.
lot of really good hope for what the next one's going to be. And it really is all about the world exploration and the combat, and they kind of nailed that. I cannot wait to do that again, especially on a newer upgraded system.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to get the remake of, or not remake, but I guess the re-release of Horizon on PC with all the upgraded
Yeah.
upres stuff, but yeah, just between the both of those, I kind of can't wait to get around to it.
Yeah. No, Horizon is definitely high up on my list. Probably top 2 or 3 for next year. I'm very excited to go to San Francisco and I think possibly
Is
Vegas
that
because I
where?
saw
Yeah, that's
some.
right. It is in San
Yeah.
Francisco.
I hope that I get to ride a Thunderjaw.
Oh man,
Um,
Or
or
one of the, I can't remember it. The giant birds.
the Glinthawks. I think that's what they
The
were.
Great
I don't
Hawks were
know.
the little ones, right?
Oh, maybe,
I'm
maybe.
talking
I don't
about
know.
the
I
big
got.
one.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
can't
know
think
what
of
you're
it.
talking about. I can't remember the name. They have cool names. The one thing that does, I guess, I'm cautiously optimistic about is, I think you touched on this. One of the things that really drew me into the first game was the essentially what happened to the old world and uncovering the mystery of Aloy. The new world, it was fine, but it was passable. I honestly wasn't that drawn into the modern conflict. I was merely like really just trying to like, okay, well, what went wrong with machines and who is Aloy and how did this all kind of unravel? And I wonder if they're going to keep telling both of those stories or if they're going to just focus on the more modern world conflict now.
Yeah.
Um, it's just again,
Well, I would think that they kind of have to get a little bit more modern because the whole Operation Zero Dawn, like that story's told at this point, and
yeah,
that also gives like the littlest bit of skepticism on like, okay, what are you going to do for a story in this one? Because the
yes,
way that that turned
exactly,
out and the way that rolled out, that was really that was a really big deal. So like,
yeah,
it's
that
going to while it appears at least that you're still Aloy, like what story they end up going with because the that was the interesting part of the first one was what
yeah,
happened to the old world. What was happening in the world was just kind of like it was more of a
it's fine,
byproduct. Like it was fine
yeah,
and it was fun to play through, but like the actual story of it was meh.
100% agree. So that's I'm again Gorilla did such an amazing job. I think they've earned enough goodwill to where I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But it is in the back of my mind. I'm wondering what's going to happen. So
Hmm.
that's just. But yeah, in terms of excitement, I am super excited for that game.
What else you got on your list?
Probably the next biggest one would be Halo Infinite. That was supposed to be the Xbox One X flagship
Launch
last
title.
yeah, launched out last year. It clearly wasn't, prime time ready. But considering, how we've seen games come out rushed, and I really do hope 343 nails this one. So, like, again, I've been a huge Halo fan since one of our friends in high school let me borrow his Xbox for a couple weeks, and I played through those games, and I've gone through the novels and the comic books, and like I love a good sci-fi story, and Halo tells an amazing story. 343 at this point has had the IP as long as Bungie, the original creators, did, and they still haven't made like a standalone, like an amazing Halo game. I thought the story in Halo 4 was really good, but the multiplayer lacked. And again, story. I liked the story in Halo 4, but it also had a lot of flaws.
Mm.
Halo 5, the story was hot garbage. Um, there's no good way to put that, but the multiplayer was absolutely phenomenal. And now this being the flagship kind of game for the Xbox One X. I really hope they've been able to take their time and kind of bring Halo into the limelight the way it should be. It should be one of these tentpole pillar games, and I'm hoping. I love Master Chief. I love Cortana. I love that amazing sci-fi world, and I want more of it. And I'm hoping that we as Halo fans get what we've been waiting, damn near a decade for now.
I won't be indulging in that game. I am excited for its release, but full disclosure, I've never beaten a Halo game. I've started one. I think I played some of two. I've definitely played the multiplayer back then, back in like high school. But yeah, I haven't gotten to them. It's definitely on my l- list of games to play this year. I got the Master Chief Collection installed on my computer. I want to play through at least one or two of them and kind of get into that world. It seems like a cool world that I dig. But I'm excited for it. I know I'm not going to play
It's fair.
it.
That's fair. What about you?
Uh, so for me, honestly, this one for like games that I'm most excited for is kind of hard to keep it down to a list of three or so. There's a lot that I'm actually. It looks like a really good year for gaming, and there are definitely a handful of games. Just a few throw-ins here that I got. One I'm really looking forward to, and it kind of doesn't even make my top five, is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Um, I never played one, but I've heard so many people rant and rave over how amazing of an RPG this was, and like the cause and effect going all the way to like the design of your initial character has like from the creation of your initial character, you block off parts of the world that you're never going to be able to do or things that you're never going to be able to achieve in that game. Um, and it's just that like it's an RPG to the core, and it just sounds like they did it right. Actually, I think I have it on Steam. I want to maybe try and get to it. It I struggle playing those old games like that, but I would really like to get to it. Um, but I guess a couple others that I'm really digging that I'm excited. You know, Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm a big, you know, I dig on Bethesda games, and these ones both look really cool. Deathloop, especially made by the guys that made Dishonored and Prey.
Yeah.
They make good games. They really do. And I'm kind of well on the outside looking in at the previews. Deathloop doesn't really seem like I'm not super excited for it. I know that these guys make really good games, so I'm kind of like, okay, let's see what it ends up being. I may end up enjoying it. Ghostwire Tokyo, I still need to see a little bit more, but I kind of want to like. It looks interesting. Like let's go with that world. Um, One that really sticks out to me. You and I have kind of talked about it. I'm willing to bet you forgot about it for this. Is a game called 12 Minutes.
No, I'm very excited for 12 minutes.
And
Oh,
it's
wait.
just this.
Just making that's the one where like your
Yeah,
wife or whatever is murdered.
yeah, you get murdered and
Ah,
like you keep it's just you and your wife in this apartment, and this
yeah.
like cop knocks on the door and he comes in and he murders you, and then you restart at the beginning and you kind of got to like start looking around your apartment to try and find out how, you know, why this guy's coming and trying to murder you and maybe try and stop it. And I'm assuming it takes 12 minutes per lifetime
Yeah,
before this dude
yeah.
comes in and kills you, and it
That
just
game
it
it,
looks good.
it's
And
such a
I know
strong
it's
hook.
kind of, which is weird that I'm excited for that, and I hate roguelites, which are exactly this, which kind of it seems like a roguelite, but not a roguelite. So I don't know,
You're saying
but it looks
look,
really good.
I'm intrigued. That's I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'm very excited for that game. I've been excited like because that was at E3 a couple of years ago, and I've been itching to play that ever since.
Yeah, that one looks good, man. I can't.
Yeah,
That one would be a fun one. I hope that's on the Switch. I feel like I don't have enough games that would be right for my Switch. Like whenever a good game comes out on the Switch, I'm like, oh well, you know, I'll just play it on my PC. I'd rather play it
fair.
on my PC.
That's fair. One game that I am cautiously optimistic for in 2021. Now that we're just mentioning honorable mentions, Gotham Knights.
Oh man, that one that's my number three on my list. That's
Oh,
it right
okay,
there. I
okay,
can't. I loved the Arkham games
yeah,
and like them to just do a co-op little playthrough with Nightwing and Red Hood
yeah. Robin and
and
Batgirl.
yeah, Robin and Batgirl. Like, please, yes, let's do that. And just the way that they've done those Batman worlds, like you
Yeah,
know, the way that like I will never forget that first Mister Freeze fight in Arkham Asylum, and how
yeah,
like every time you attacked him, he's like, okay, cool, you're not going to damage me the same way twice, and like
yeah.
trying to fight through them, and just the way that they do the characters, I love it so much. That was your game. I stole your thunder. I was super excited for it, man.
No. I look. I'm excited for the two-player co-op. That you can jump in between characters. I look. The combat in those games were really fun. I
Let's
know
be
this is
real.
being
You and
made
I are
by.
just going to be Nightwing and Red Hood.
Yeah, I mean, I might be Batgirl, but we'll see what happens.
Fair enough.
Uh,
It's only two
uh,
player, right?
yeah, it's only two players,
Okay.
so your wife cannot play with us.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but no, look, I understand it's being made by WB Montreal, not Rocksteady. But again, WB Montreal made a Batman Arkham
They made
Origins.
Origins, dude.
Yeah, and again, like
Dude,
there was nothing wrong with that game.
I just played through Origins this year, actually. Like I
Okay.
bought it when it came. It was one of those games, like you know, those games when you buy it when it comes out, you get into it and you're like, well, yeah, I got some other things going on. I'll get back to it, and it never
Yeah.
happens. And
Yeah,
I finally am like, you know what? I'm gonna play this game. I always wanted to play it. I'm gonna play it, and it's a good game. Like I don't.
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with it. Like to hold. Sometimes there's a game that holding its sequels or its the games that follow it to that same standard is completely unfair. And that was Arkham City. Straight
Yeah,
up. Comparing any other Arkham game to Arkham City is that's just unfair to do to that game. And Arkham Origins was a good game. I can't wait for Gotham Knights.
100% agree. So I have full faith in WB Montreal to make a fun game. Like, and that's really all I want. Just give me more fun shit to do in the Batman universe.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
100%, man. Um, you got any more that you're excited? I got like two more that I'm actually pretty excited for still.
Waiting for you to say one because I want to fight you on it if you do. But go ahead and
I
name
don't
your
think I
two.
got one that you're gonna fight me on. But here, I'll throw this one out. Dying Light 2.
Yeah, no, I want to. I love Dying Light. Dying Light is awesome.
That and the
I
fact
didn't
that
know
you
this was
can,
supposed to come out this
I
year.
hope we can play it multiplayer like we did with Dying Light 1. Like,
Yeah,
it's a fun world to kind of go around and try
yeah,
and survive. I dig it. I don't think there's enough open world, like multiplayer games in that fashion that are meant for like 2 to 4 player co-op, the
yeah.
Borderlands,
Hmm.
type window. I don't think there's enough games like that, and I think Dying Light's got its issues, but I think Dying Light 2 just looks really good, and I think that'd be fun for me, you, and Wes. Jump on and play like that. That's exactly what I envision. Is just me, you, and Wes BSing around in that game. Probably never beat it.
No, that was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, everything I'm seeing is still saying that it's this year, so I got thrown on there. And then I guess the last one that I'm really excited for is Outriders.
Yeah.
It just
Okay.
it's kind of it seems like if Destiny was done in a bit of more of a Borderland style, so if it was
Mhm.
like more tailored for co-op, but like a much cooler, just raw world with just fast-paced gunplay, looter shooter, go at it. Like it
Yeah,
just
that one
looks
looks
like
like a
raw
lot of
fun.
fun.
I can't wait. Which one did you think I was going to say that you're going to fight me
I
on?
thought you were going to bring up Starfield, and I have absolutely no faith that game's coming out
That
ever.
close. That close.
Side bet on that game, and I'm sticking to my guns. There's no way it comes out in 2021.
Yes, we have a side bet out for some in and out. If
Yep.
Starfield comes out before midnight of December 31st, 2021, he owes me an in and out. If not, I
Yep.
have to get him some in and out.
Yep. Taking that bet to the bank. There's no way that game is coming out this year.
You're probably maybe I'm just cautiously hopeful. Bethesda needs to push out games, man. They need. There's no good reason why there should be what looks like is going to be close to a 20-year gap between Elder Scrolls games.
They got $7 billion worth of Microsoft money. They're not hurting to put out a new game anytime soon.
You're right, and Skyrim has released on Alexa and
And
N64 and my toaster, and
Advanced
I
Coaster.
think two of those are actually true. I don't know.
Pretty sure it is on fridges. Like
Yes, you
I
can.
remember that being a headline.
Which, on
So
that note, games that we're looking forward to in 2021, the next gen version of freaking GTA 5.
yeah, sure, why not? I'll play it again.
Yeah, I'll still play it. That's a good game.
That's a fun game.
What you got? Anything else, man?
No, honestly, that was really it. I can't. I'm struggling to think of anything else that I'm legitimately excited for that I know is coming out in 2021. Because I know like uh maybe the Harry Potter game, the open world Harry Potter game that takes place 100 years before the movie. I mean, I think they're like 10, 15 years too late. Those that should have come out a long time ago. Oh, when the Harry Potter franchise ruled the world. But hey, it looks interesting
Yeah.
so far. So cautiously optimistic.
One I know I won't get, but it just looks fantastic in every way is the Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Oh, I'm gonna get that on my Switch.
That one just looks like it's just hitting everything right. I've never gotten into the Lego Star Wars, but like I don't know, maybe I'll
They're
get it
fun
just
little.
play with my daughter.
Yeah, I think
It
Kara would dig
looks
playing that on your lap.
it looks legit good.
Yeah,
I think that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know. I've never played the Stalker game. Stalker
and
2
neither
is
have I.
starting to look really interesting. There was another.
Oh, Hitman 3. The Hitman games never disappoint me,
They don't.
and that comes. Yeah,
They don't. I've kind of hit a point of struggling to get around to like keep playing the Hitmans, but I've always enjoyed the Hitman. But I always have this. I hold every game to the standard of Blood Money at this point, and they all just kind of feel a little off compared to that. I don't know.
I played the crap out of Hitman 2, and that game was great.
Did you? I never got
Maybe.
to. I never got to two.
Yeah, that was the one that came out a couple years ago, and like I could just replay some of those levels over and over and over again.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I had some issues with one, and so I was a little
yeah,
skeptical with getting into two. But I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
I'll give it a
Because
shot.
one had the episodic kind of thing going on, and I just
Does
wasn't
two not
feeling it.
have that?
No, no, two was like the whole game. Here it is.
Okay, okay. I might
Yeah.
have to give it a shot then. That's it for this episode. Thank you to everybody for watching. If you enjoy our content, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. We'd love to hear your comments in the comments section down below. Also, if you have any topics you would like for us to discuss in future episodes, leave a comment or reach out to us on our Twitter at GNerdities or on Instagram at General Nerdities, all one word. Thanks.